Good morning, true crime friends. Okay, so listen, I'm gonna get right into it. I have been listening to the tapes, to the recordings from yesterday's court case in the case of Lori Vallow Daybell. Today is Wednesday, April the 19th. So this is what you need to know. Lori's son, oh gosh, why is his name escaping me? Colby Ryan took the stand yesterday. Honey, he lit her on fire. Here's the thing. By all accounts, it seems like Lori was like a good and decent mom up until she went all the way off the rails. And when she went off the rails, she went off the rails. There's a little teensy downside to raising your kids to be decent human beings, and that is that when they grow up, if you go all the way to the left, oh, they're gonna let you know. And Colby, he let his mother know in no uncertain terms. Apparently, she raised him to go to church, to be deeply religious, to be a family man, do all this stuff. He's got kids. He's like a church person. I assume he still is. As the time of the jailhouse tapes that were played in court today, he was still like a deeply religious and moral person. And I think that's fabulous. But he was like whipping out Jesus Christ on her. He beat her to death with the word. And I was like, I am here for it. Now, I am not one who is, I do not enjoy being whipped with like spirituality, somebody else's idea of religion, whatever. You can go and keep that to yourself. But he was like, oh, mama, we are speaking the same language now. You raised me, you taught me these things, and now let me proceed to beat you over the head with it, which is exactly what he did, which is exactly what she deserved. And he was like, tell me you did this in the name of Jesus. Tell me, say his name. I was like, oh, Colby, calm down, brother. But he did not have to calm down, and he did not calm down. Colby had no chill whatsoever, and I am glad that he did not. He talked to his mother, and then when he was done, he was just like, that is all. Boom. Very dramatic. It was like telenovela dramatic, and I was here for it. Yes, Colby. The thing that really struck me is that as everybody had talked about Colby and I had heard about these phone calls and all this other stuff, I thought he was going to be on the stand for like half a day or something. He was, okay, so listen, I was listening to the playback at like 2-point speed. Although when it came to his tapes, I was like, I'm going to put this right on normal. I'm going to need to slow this right down so I can get each and every word. So I heard each and every word. And he was not speaking quickly, but he was meaningful and forceful. And there was no question at all that he was sick of her mess and he was there to let her know. And she was like, but you have to understand. And then here's the thing that struck me that Lori said. First of all, Colby referred to Chad Daybell as Peter Griffin. And that is a much better description than a potato. He looks like, Peter Griffin from the Family Guy. Look, let me see if I'm going to have to see if I can find a picture of Peter Griffin and Chad Daybell. It is amazing how much they look alike. Additionally, one of the things that I noticed is that from the time we first started seeing pictures of Lori to like her most recent mugshot, jail has aged her. And that's not a commentary on her looks. It's just I guess it is kind of, but it's a commentary on like, she must be going through it as well. She should. All of that stress or whatever is well deserved. She looks puffy. Her eyes are kind of half closed. She looks like she was rode hard and put away wet. And so because of the downward progression of the way she appears, I projected into the future of what she might look like after she is sentenced to prison or has spent a couple of years there and like doing hard time. To me, she's going to look like one of those apple dolls. Remember apple dolls in Girl Scouts? You would take an apple and you would peel it and then you could carve out a face, eyes, nose, mouth, and then you let it sit there for like a month and dry out and it got like all squishy. Everything was That is what Lori's face looks like. Go on over to the community tab and take a look because Lori is serving full apple doll realness in those pictures because, whoo, child, it is rough. I wonder what Peter Griffin is going to look like after his time in prison. Colby let her know, and I am Team Colby. Now, Colby may be problematic. There was an issue with his wife, alleged abuse. Whether it's true or not, I do not know. Ultimately, the charges were dropped, and he is still married to this wife. I don't know none of his background, none of his history. I can't imagine the level of trauma and devastation this young man has gone through. All good wishes to him. I hope he turns out okay. He seems to be really like rooted in his faith. And I hope that that is really, really helpful for him because he gonna need it. He's definitely gonna need it. And if that wife doesn't work out, Colby could get it all over the place. He's a cutie, assuming that he's not abusive. Because if he's abusive, then he need to go to jail too. But if he's not, I hope he has a good and happy life and raises his children to be good and moral children the same way he was raised. In other news, we knew Lori had like 65 husbands, right? We knew this. So her first husband was like a high school sweetheart or something like that. The second husband, I think, was Colby's father. The third husband was Joe Ryan. Joe Ryan died of natural causes. Well, a lot of people around Lori Daybell have been dying of quote unquote natural causes that turned out not to be so natural. What happened to Joe Ryan? Was she poisoning people long before we knew she knew how to poison people? I need a complete and thorough investigation. Where is the podcast for that? You know, these podcasts, like once this case is over, so people can keep their audience. It's going to spin off into something else. They're going to deeply investigate. I hope somebody deeply investigates the death of Joe Ryan. Joe Ryan is the reason that Tylee Ryan was receiving Social Security benefits because Joe Ryan was her dad. Apparently, he was not that good a guy. He was pretty abusive. And I'm a little bit confused about Lori's choice in spouses because the first husband didn't work out. Okay, that happens. They were very young. The second husband, she had Colby with, but then Colby never had that man's last name. Why is that? And then Joe Ryan, the third husband, apparently was very abusive. Girl, you got terrible taste in men. Terrible. Now, Colby has Joe Ryan's last name. He is Colby Ryan. And then the court said, did Joe Ryan ever adopt you? And he was like, I have no idea. How is he 27 and he has no idea? You can't ask your mama a question. Yes, she's a lying sack of sugar and everything that comes out of her mouth is a lie. But like, dang, can we do some genealogy? Was Joe Ryan secretly your real father? I need to get to the bottom of that. Was she pregnant by somebody else and then she hooked up with Joe? And then when she got with Joe, how you just change somebody's last name like that? Was Ryan the last name from the birth certificate? I have questions. Podcasts, I'm going to need some podcasters. While you're investigating the death of Joe Ryan, please get to the bottom of that. Thank you so much. The other thing that I had not realized in this case is like, I knew it was a murder case. I knew it was a religion case. I knew it was a cult case. I knew that there was like people associated with the Church of the Firstborn. That's what they call that cult Lori and them created. And I knew that like the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints was also involved. All of this I knew. What I had not anticipated was the degree to which this is a financial crime. Is this like Murdoch in that it started out a white collar crime and became a murder crime? Like, Lori, girl. Okay, so she's getting Social Security for JJ because he's a special needs child and because his father died, I guess. Technically, I don't think his biological father died. I think his adoptive father died. I'm not fully understanding why JJ was receiving SSI. That's a Social Security. Well, listen, I've seen the demographics on this channel. Y'all know what SSI is. Y'all some old folks just like me. Hey, oldsters, how y'all doing? Anyway, so JJ was getting a check and Tylee was getting a check. Okay, fine. People have to live. I think it's appropriate that the government support people in need. Terrific. Keeps them from like being on the streets and all of that kind of stuff. But when these kids went missing, part of what Kay and Larry Woodcock did was like, oh, no. We don't know where these kids are. Then you're not going to know where these checks are. And so they cut off that money with a quickness. Every time a man's money ran out, so did Lori. So when the second husband, oh goodness, I've got this all scrambled in my brain. Like the one husband, they divorced. Okay, I imagine she got a divorce settlement. Then the next dude died. She got a check from that. Like this woman figured out ways to get checks from everybody. Did she work? Because I don't think being a prophetess or a prophet or Jesus's boyfriend, girlfriend or whatever pays that good. But she got her a bunch of men to pay her money. And so once the checks from Tylee and JJ got cut off, she was desperate to do something else. She was just bouncing from money to money to money. Then she wanted her little niece, Melanie, we refer to her as Melanice because it's two Melanies. When Melanice got divorced, she got like a $500,000 divorce settlement. And then Lori was spending her money too. Lori was telling people, oh no, you can go on and move to Rexburg, Idaho. We're going to take care of you because Melanice, she got some money. It's enough for all of us. Girl, I'm going to need you to get your hand out of my pocket. Listen, I am not homicidal. I am not a murderous person. Now, if you were a cockroach, like an actual creepy crawly cockroach, you going to get murdered at my house. A mouse, I'm going to sick my husband on you and I'm going to put a whole bunch of poison out so you could get murdered. But like a squirrel or anything larger than a squirrel, no, thank you. I'm not in the murdering business, not at all. I'm hesitant to even kill a spider because I imagine spiders serve a purpose. I don't know what it is, but I think it serves something. So this heifer is just out here knocking people off as soon as the money runs out. So she wanted Melanice to get her divorce so she could get her a bunch of money. What are all these people doing to make all this money? We know Chad, the grave digger, he wasn't making that kind of bank. He got a little bit of life insurance when Tammy died. His wife, like $60,000, something like that. You can't live that long off of $60,000, especially with the way Lori likes to spend money. All that beautiful hair and glowing skin or whatever, that takes maintenance. Has Lori ever had a job? I don't know that I've ever, like, not even a barista at the Starbucks, nothing. This heifer has never had a job. She was just monkey barring her way from man to man to man to child to whatever. I would well imagine that as Tylee grew into teenagehood and her attitude fully and completely bloomed, she already had her GED. She was 17 years old. In 2 seconds, she was about to fly the coop and she could take her Social Security with her. Honestly, I suspect that might have been part of the reason that she was deemed to be a zombie and Lori had to go and let her go. And by let her go, I mean from this mortal plane. It's evil. But what Lori had not anticipated is that sometimes you could commit a murder and get away from it, get away with it. Because the government, they just might not have all the facts and the details. You might get away with it. What you're not going to do is mess with the IRS. If they don't get her on this murder, which I fully expect them to nail her on this murder, oh, they're going to get her on those financial crimes. She stole money from JJ. She stole money from Tylee. She stole money from a host of other people. And the federal government is slow. They are inefficient. They are very much like a sloth. You know what they don't do? Give up. You know what they're not going to do? Just relax and go on, let you have that money. Oh, they'll let you hold it for a little while. Oh, yeah. You can hold that money. No problem. Speaking of which, I need to pay my tax bill. It's not that much money. It's like $400, but I forgot about it until right now. Mr. Federal Government, hey, IRS friends, your $400 is on its way today. I already filed my taxes. I know they were due yesterday. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to go right on the computer system and send you your money because you're not coming to get me. I can't be doing YouTube from jail. I cannot. I can't live my regular life. You know, I can't sleep on a hard bed. The food is bad. The coffee is probably terrible. No, ma'am. I am not cut out for prison. Lori, on the other hand, looked like she was not originally cut out for prison, but she is becoming cut out for prison because that is where she is likely to spend her whole life. It is horrible that she murdered those kids. Is she going to go to jail? Oh, yeah, she's going to jail for life. Does the government have the goods on her? They sure do. They surely do. But if they did not have the goods on her in this murder, the fact that she kept collecting those kids' checks after they were dead and she knew they were dead or they were no longer in her custody, girl, The IRS sends celebrities to prison. If you put a celebrity before a jury of regular people, they might be like, I loved his movies. His music is good. We're just going to let him go free. He didn't mean to hit that person in the head with a baseball bat. That murder was accidental. But the government, Wesley Snipes, how was Prison Boo? Michael Kors, not Michael Kors, the shoe guy. Oh, I can see his shoe store now. I got a big shoe store in Times Square. He went to prison. All kinds of people went to prison. So, them financial crimes, child, bye. I can't with you. Okay. I actually have other things to do this morning. I made myself a beautiful cup of coffee. It smells so good. But I'm going to pack a lunch today. I've decided so that I could send the IRS their $400, I'm going to pack myself a lunch. And so I think I'm going to make some Indian cuisine this morning, maybe a kormu or possibly, you know what I love for breakfast? Egg foo young. it always gets back to food with me. I have fat thoughts. Anyway, egg foo young, if you make it right, is really quite delicious. You can make it at home. It's not that many calories and it's high protein. I love egg foo young for breakfast. So this egg foo young is not going to make itself. So today I'm going to go make myself a nice egg foo young. If I remember, I'll take a picture of it if I do that before I eat it, because sometimes I just eat it up because it is so yummy. But a girl has to make some breakfast. So I'm going to go off and make my breakfast. Y'all make it a great day. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.